I am always looking to create more storage in my shop, which is packed. All the low spaces are filled, but look up at the ceiling in the corner. There's unused space there. I can put shelves there for little used items, while keeping the main used items down low. So I made a quick sketch of a simple shelf, but a strong shelf. The shelf is 1 by 12. The wall plate is 1 by 4. The only challenging part is the supports. I wanted to lay the supports out so that I wasted as little material as possible, so the two sloped edges should be facing each other. I made a small shoulder on each end. It looks better, instead of going to a sharp point. I'm going to draw in the 1/8 inch wide kerf for the saw blade. Now I can add the 1 inch shoulder, and I know where my second piece ends. When I build these shelves, I usually need about 20 supports, so I want to make them efficiently, so I'm going to set up a little jig. I'm going to use my crosscut sled, but you could use just a board running up against the rip fence. I set my layout lines where the saw blade will cut. Then I can use an alignment piece to quickly align each cut without laying out. Screw them down with temporary screws. Now we're going to cut the two supports to length. I think this makes them more manageable. And then when I cut them on the table saw, I get 2 pieces for each cut. Setting up stop blocks helps me make a bunch of these efficiently. Now I want to add a second piece to help locate these quicker. Another temporary screw, and we're ready to go. That looks pretty good. And now we have 2 pieces which use our material very efficiently. We lose very little scrap. Now we go back to the miter saw and cut off the long point. It just looks better. The assembly is very easy, just a bunch of screwing around. I like to clamp the 1 by 12 to the table and then bring the 1 by 4 up underneath it. If I let the 1 by 12 overhang the edge of the table by the width of the 1 by 4, everything's easy to line up. A moment's patience makes life easier down the road. 1 quick screw, and then add a whole bunch more. Now we turn it over to add our support brace. I don't like to put them on the very end. I inset them a little bit. Some quick alignment marks makes life much easier. Find it easier to drill the back plate. That way it's easier to get everything aligned. The drill bit goes into the support much quicker, locating it more accurately. A couple screws and this one's ready to go. Now we just need a bunch more. I'm sorry, but I lost my video hanging the shelves, but here I am loading the shelves. Pick the height so I can just reach it. I have at least 8 or 10 inches above the shelf. At a minimum, here's a view of all the things I store up there. It is a great use of space. So here's where we started. You can see I hung my pegboard down so I'd have room for the shelves. You may have to work around pipes or HVAC runs. I worked around the corners. The other thing I had to worry about was the height of the door. This influenced the height of the shelf also. If we go back 30 years, when I didn't have gray hair, you can see I was using the same kind of shelves. Some of them I added shaker pegs for hats. This was in a garage, and it was very handy because the kids were little and it kept things out of their reach. All in all of my shops, it's worked out very well, and I hope it works out for you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and ring the bell. I appreciate you watching the Johnsonville Woodworker.